Okay, so I'm now on the absolute values. I know they're absolute values because of these absolute value signs right there. These are the only ones I'm going to do on the iPad because the iPad is kind of hard for me to draw straight lines on. So this original graph looks like a V. And then I need to go ahead and I need to move this up 3. And so it should move up 3 over 1, or up 1 over 1 from that 3 up stance. So this is an up 3 motion. Again, I know this is an absolute value graph. I know it is because of those absolute value lines. Okay, so that gives me the original graph of this purple. It's a V. It goes up 1 over 1. That's my slope. Okay. Then some of us have learned that this is a times 2 stretch. So that being a times 2 stretch, 0 times 2 is still 0. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So it looks like this. Some of us have learned that this causes an up 2 over 1, an up 2 over 1, an up 2 over 1 pattern. Either way works for me. The times 2 works for any kind of graph. The up 2 over 1 slope only works for a few of them. This absolute value is one of those kinds. Okay. So you should have seen this graph become taller and thinner. You did. You saw it become taller and thinner. It squished inwards. Okay. It moved upwards. Number 6, you should see this fraction cause it to be fat. You should see the absolute values cause it to be a V. Okay, so my absolute values cause a V. The fraction should cause it to be fat, so it should go up 1 over 2. It is, in fact, fatter. Or it causes that 1/2 multiplication. 1 times a half is a half. 2 times a half is 1. 3 times a half, don't really want to do that. 4 times a half gives me 2. Either way will work. Whatever way you feel more comfortable with is totally fine. So it does look fatter and shorter. They asked you to graph using T-charts. I told you to go ahead and use transformation rules. Again, it's absolute value. It's a V because of those absolute value lines. That negative causes a flip. It's an outside, so it's going to flip up and down. So it flips to this direction. 8 is going to be a negative. It's going to flip. You can't just write the word flip. You must write flip up and down, or else you will not get full credit. So this is a V shape going upside down. Okay. Then it is skinnier and taller because of that up 2 over 1 pattern, or because it stretches. Your choice, whichever way you do it. Again, it's an absolute value. It's a V shape. It's going to cause a flip because of that negative sign. And then it gets skinnier. No, it gets fatter because it's a fraction. So I get something that looks like that. So all 3 of the graphs are in the bottom half of the coordinate only because of that negative flip up and down, because we went from all positive x's, all positive y's, to all negative y's. Okay, so the next page, I have the absolute value of -2. That moves it to the right 2. So I'm going to take my V shape. I'm going to move it right 2. It still has an up 1 over 1 slope. Still has an up 1 over 1 slope. Then I'm going to move it up 3. It is important to me that you are doing this one step at a time. Because if you are doing it more than one step at a time, it is highly likely that yours will be slightly different from mine. Number 3. PEMDAS tells me that I need to make this tall and skinny first. So please make it tall and skinny first. Up 3 over 1. I get this V shape that is tall and skinny. Notice I have started to skip my original graph. I know it is V-shaped. I am going to change that V to match. Then this -2 causes me to move down 2 every single time. So you can move each individual dot, or you can count up 3 over 1 from that new bottom dot. And I get this V shape. Again, it is tall and skinny, and it moved down 2. On your test, I am going to ask you for words every time. On your quiz, I'm going to ask you for words every single time. I'm going to give you a space to write it. Write your words. It is important because if you happen to mess up on your picture, there's nothing I can do about it unless you give me words. And if you give me words and I think that you just did them out of order, then I can give you points. Okay? I have a negative sign here. I also have a +5 on the inside. Okay, these absolute value signs act as parentheses. I have to do in the parentheses first. That +5 moves it left 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put my dot there. I get my absolute value. Looks like that. Then it flips upside down. Looks like that. I get both V shapes. Okay, so that was a flip upside down, and it was a move to the left 5. It's helpful if you put these in order. Again, absolute values, it's going to be V-shaped. -2, it's going to move to the left. Nope. In a mirror, it's going to move to the right 2. I get this V shape here. Okay. Then that fraction, so this should look up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, or you're halving those points. So this one was up 0, it's still up 0. This one was up 1, it's up a half. This one was up 2, it's up 1. 3, I don't feel like doing. 4, I go to 2. So on and so forth. I get this half. It's fatter. It's a fraction. It's short. It's a shrink. Any of those words work. Then I move up 3 from there. Okay. I am telling you that this is one of the ones that would be wrong if you did it out of order. Please check to make sure you did it in the right order. Okay, then I get an absolute value graph that looks like that. In your classes, I just erased that 2. I just erased that 1/2. This should be an up 5 movement. This should be a down 1 movement. Should have been really super simple. Next page. This one. It moved left 1. It moved up 1. It moved to get fatter. Up 1/3. And that looks like it's it. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1/3 absolute value of x. I know it's an absolute value because it's a v. I'm going to do +1 on the inside because it moved to the left. I'm going to do +1 on the outside because it moved up. Over here, it flipped upside down. So it definitely gets a negative in the front. It's still a V shape. It's still an absolute value. I get an X there. It definitely moved to the right 2. So I subtract 2 on the inside because it's in a mirror. It definitely moved up 4. So I add 4. And then I'm going to double check my slope. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So it really goes down 3/2. Okay. It did get taller and skinnier, even though this is a fraction. I promise you I will not give you anything that hard on the test. Okay. These ones, you're looking for solutions. The solutions are where they overlap. In this case, it is 1, 3. This is a point. Please know that we are looking for a point, so I am looking for it to be in parentheses. Okay. Again, point. This is 2, and it's negative. Up 1, it's a point. It goes in parentheses. Line across, crosses here, crosses here. You tell me what points those are at. Crosses here, crosses here. You tell me what points those are at. Okay, that's the end of my absolute value sheet. I have one more to go through.